Welcome to everybody to my channel Learners Hub. I am going to present this video lesson or PowerPoint presentation about Unit 3 of the paper 3 or core paper 3 for semester 2 on model CBCS syllabus for the benefit of the students during this COVID-19 pandemic lockdown period. So this is a video about the rights. So this video is on CBCS syllabus and this is applicable to the all students in different universities all over India, not only in Odisha but also all over in India. I am going to present my lesson on the subject content, rights, natural, moral, legal, and 3 generations of rights. In this lesson, we will discuss about what is meaning of rights, what are the nature and characteristics of rights, what are the various types of rights like natural, moral, legal rights, 3 generational rights. This lesson or this presentation or text of the topic is very valuable not only for the students, those who appear the CBCS syllabus for paper 3 or core paper 3 in semester 2. And in the previous video, in last 3 videos, we have already discussed about the different topics from Unit 1. In this video, we will discuss from Unit 3 on the subject rights. That is from the paper content, political theory, concept and debates. So this is also a valuable text or content or presentation. Is also suitable or it is also requirement for the students, those who are experienced for civil service conducted by the Union Public Service Commission and also the state civil service conducted by different Public Service Commission of India in different states of India. Now, the rights are highly essential for development of individual personality, without which the individual cannot develop his personality. In order to develop personality, every individual requires some rights. Without rights, the personality of the individual cannot be developed. So, most of the states have given certain rights to their citizens or to the individuals in their own constitution. For example, the Bill of Rights of American Constitution, the Charter of Rights of British Constitution, and in other states also provides rights to their own citizens by different states. Rights are those essential conditions of the social life without which no individual develops his personality. These are the essential conditions for health of both individuals and its society. It is only When people get enjoy rights, that they can develop their personality and contribute their best self to the society. So, most of the modern democratic states guarantees some of the rights to their citizens through their constitution. Now, we shall discuss about some of the meanings and definition of rights. In simple words, rights are the common claim of the people which every civilized society or state recognizes as essential claim for the development and which are therefore enforced by the states. In every civilized society, the individual enjoys some rights. Rights are the claims of the individuals that are given in every civilized society, and rights are safeguarded and enforced by the state. Rights are recognized by the states. The rights, the civil rights, civil and political rights, these two rights are enforced and recognized by the states. Now we discuss about some of the views which is given by the philosophers of political science, philosopher or writers of political science. According to Hetsterovsky, rights are those conditions for social life without which no man seek in general to be himself at the best. According to T.H. Green, an eminent English political philosopher, rights are the power necessary for fulfillment of man's vocation as a moral being. According to an Indian political scientist, Professor Beni Prasad Verma, rights are nothing more or less than those social conditions which are necessary and favorable to the development of personality. Now we shall discuss about some of the features or characteristics of rights. So first, rights exist only in society or in civilized society. These are the product of the social livings. Secondly, rights are the claim of the individuals for their personality development in the society or in the state, whatever we say. Third, rights are recognized by the state as common claim of all individuals. So I will tell that rights are recognized by the states. Since rights inhere only in the society, these cannot be exercised against the society. Rights are equally available to all the people, to all the individuals in the society or in the states. The content of rights keeps on changing with the passage of time. Eighthly, rights are not absolute. The state makes some restriction for enjoyment of rights in abnormal circumstances or during the time of emergency which the state requires. These always bear limitations deemed essential for maintaining public health, security, order, and morality. Rights are inseparably related with duties. You know, if we enjoy some rights, if we enjoy rights, we have some duties for the society, for the states. And rights and duties are two sides of the same coin. If we enjoy some rights, then we have some duty for the society, for the state. and rights and duties are complementary to each other. They are inseparable. They are not inseparable. Now we shall discuss about the various types or kinds of the rights. So rights are classified by various kinds. Firstly, that is natural rights. Natural rights are those rights which are inherited by the individuals from the nature. Before the man came to live in the society or the state, they used to live in the state of nature. In it, he enjoyed certain natural rights like the right to life, right to liberty, right to property. Next, the natural rights are the part of human nature or region. However, several scholars regard the concept of natural rights as imaginary. Rights are the product of social living. Behind the right is the recognition of society or the state as a common claim for development, and that is why the state protects these rights. Then second types of rights is moral rights. Now we shall discuss about what is moral rights. Moral rights are those rights which are based on human consciousness. They are backed by moral force of human mind. These are based on human sense of goodness and justice. They are not backed by the force of law. Sense of goodness and public opinion are the sanctions behind the moral rights. Every individual has moral rights according to his conscience or according to his morality. So we know what are the sanctions behind moral rights. Sense of goodness, public opinion are the sanctions behind the moral rights. If any person violates any moral rights, no legal action can be taken against him. The state does not enforce these rights. The court does not recognize the moral rights. Moral rights include rule of good conduct, courtesy of moral behavior. This stands for moral perfection of the people. Then third is the legal rights. It is most important rights which are recognized by the state and enforced by the state authority. Legal rights are those rights which are recognized and enforced by the state. Any violation of any legal rights is punished by the law. Law courts of the state enforce the legal rights. These rights can be enforced against individuals and also against the government. Those who violate these rights, they are punished by the laws of the state. In this way, legal rights are different from moral rights. Legal rights are actually or equally available to all citizens. All citizens enjoy legal rights without any discrimination. All individuals do not enjoy the legal rights. Only citizens enjoy the legal rights. So all individuals enjoy the legal rights, but the political rights. So the political rights are enjoyed by the citizens only, not by the all individuals or the foreigners or aliens or the citizens of the other states or the countries. The political rights they do not enjoy. Again, the legal rights are the three types, or there are three kinds of legal rights. They are civil rights, political rights, and economic rights. Civil rights are those rights which are necessary for each individual to lead a civilized society. These fulfill basic human life in society. These civil rights fulfill the basic needs of the human life in society or in the state. Civil rights are protected by the laws of the state. Civil rights are enforced by the state. They are recognized by the states. Violation of these rights, the state or the society punished them by the laws, as per the laws. So now discuss about some of the civil rights. The civil rights of the individual includes the right to life, the right to family life, right to religious freedom, right to personal freedom, right to education, right to freedom of thought and expression, right to freedom of movement, right to press, right to equality, right to justice, and right to form association, right to contract. These are the civil rights of the individuals. All individual, irrespective of who their citizenship, irrespective of who their age background, all individual enjoy the civil rights. Now we shall discuss about the political rights. This is important right. This is an important rights. The political rights are enjoyed by the citizens of the state only, not by the all individuals. The foreigners, the aliens, or the citizens of the other state or the country do not enjoy such rights. So if you know what is political rights, political rights are those rights through which citizens get a share and participate in the political process of the state. These enable them to take an active part in the political process. These rights include the right to vote, the right to get elected in different election, right to hold public office, a right to criticize and oppose the government in constructive way if the government does some anti-people laws, anti-people activities, or adopt wrong policies, then the citizen have the right to criticize or oppose the government in constructive way. Political rights are really available to citizens only, not to all individuals in a democratic state. That we have already discussed. Now we shall switch over to economic rights. Economic rights are those rights which provide economic security to the individual. This enables all citizens or all individuals to make proper use of their civil and political rights. Without economic rights, the political and civil rights are meaningless. For the proper use of civil political rights, the individual enjoy economic rights. The basic need of every individual are related to his food, clothing, shelter, health facilities and education etc. are required. Without fulfillment of these, no individual can really enjoy his civil political rights. It is therefore essential that every person must get the right to work, right to adequate wage, right to leisure and rest, right to social security in case of illness or physical disability and old age. So these are some of the economic rights. So in this video or in this lesson or in this presentation, I include some of the questions and assignment to the students which they can compete in the different examinations like university examinations and other competitive examinations, and I prepared a notes and I given some questions and they are very helpful for them in the forthcoming examination. So I have given some model questions and assignment to the students. So they are the short questions, gap filling. So for the and also I given some the short questions that is answered within 75 words. Now we shall come to the 3 generations of rights. It is a modern concept. So in the 3 generation rights, we shall discuss about what are the first generation rights, what are the second generation rights, and what are the third generation rights. Now we shall discuss about the first generation rights. All civil and political rights are the first generation rights, which all civilized society, all democratic state guarantees to their citizens, to their individuals, these rights. The first generation rights serve negatively to protect the individuals from excessiveness of the actions of the state. So, the first generation rights are called the blue rights. All are fundamental civil and political rights. First generation rights includes that we have already discussed in civil rights and political rights. The first generation right includes the right to life, equality for law, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, all are civil rights, right to hold public office, right to contest in election, voting rights, right to criticize wrong policy of government. So these are the all political rights. These were pioneered by the United States Bill of Rights and in France by the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen in 18th century, the Magna Carta of 1235 and the rights of which were expressed in the British Bill of Rights of 1689. They were enshrined at a global level. Globally, the first generation rights are given to all the people by the all nations, by the all states, all of the world. So these rights were adopted by globally and given status in international law, first by international law, and Article 3 to 21 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948, later in 1966 International Convention on Civil Rights. In Europe, these were enshrined in the European Convention on Human Rights in 1953. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights under Article 3 to 21 all enjoy the first generation rights, civil and political rights. Now we shall discuss about second generation rights. Second generation rights are the rare rights. The second generation human rights are related to equality and began to be recognized by the government after World War II. After World War II, all states, nations or countries recognized or accepted the second generation rights or some of the economic rights or rights of equality. So these rights are recognized and enforced by the state. These are fundamentally economic, social and cultural rights. The second generation rights are economic, social and cultural rights. All cultural rights, social rights, economic rights, these are come under second generation rights. The second generation rights are also secondary rights, which include a right to be employed in just and favorable condition, right to food, housing, health care, as well as social security and unemployment benefit. Like first generation rights, they are also covered by Universal Declaration of Human Rights and further embodied in Article 22 to 28 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the International Covenant on Economic, Social, Cultural Rights. These rights are sometimes referred as rare rights. These impose upon the government to duty to respect and promote the fulfill them, but this depends on the availability of the resources. The duty of the government is in the realization of these positive rights. Economic rights or second generation rights are positive rights and the first generation rights are negative rights. The first generation rights are negative injection to the state to carry out, but the second generation rights are depends on the mercy of the state as per the availability of the resources. Then we shall discuss about third generation rights. The third generation rights includes such rights as are deemed essential for the preservation of peace, clean environment, sustainable development, and humanitarian assistance. Third generation rights are beyond the mere civil and political rights. These rights are expressed in many progressive documents of international law, including the 1972 Stockholm Declaration of the United Nations Conference on Human Environment, the 1992 Rio Declaration in Environment and Development, and other pieces of generally aspirational law. The term the third generation rights are also called as green rights because these are relating to the environment, these are relating to the natural resources, these are related to the human society globally. Collective rights, solitary rights. The third generation rights are called green rights or collective rights or group rights or solitary rights. The broad spectrum of these rights includes group and collective rights, right to self-determination, right to healthy environment, right to natural resources, right to participation in cultural heritage, right to intergenerational equity and sustainability. So this is important rights. So these rights are relevant in present day. So this is about the third generation rights. After these rights, I have presented through my presentation about some questions, both short-term questions, short questions about 75 words, and also some of the gap filling questions in 1 words. And this is the assignment to the students to follow, and this is very beneficial for them for different examination, both university examination and also different competitive examination conducted by the different Publishers Commission and Indian Publishers Commission. And so it is this information also helpful those who prepare UGC NET in political science in near future. And I appeal to all those who listen this lesson, they have to share, like and subscribe my channel Learner Soho. And while studying this lesson, they have to subscribe, like and share this lesson to their own friends for their benefits. Thank you all. So I again appeal them to subscribe my channel, and thank you very much.